Okay guys, so today we got this raised bed area on our Four Seasons patch that we're getting ready to clean up and get tidied up. And we're going to show you guys what it means to be family gardeners right here on Heavenly Hills Homestead. So stay tuned. Okay guys, we're gonna come in here and we're gonna kind of like clean this mess up some. All right, so let's take and get all this kind of cleaned up. I ain't gonna show you all what I'm gonna do. Then we'll get the kids out here and we'll let them plant some stuff and get ready to grow in these raised beds. All right guys, so we got all this done up, looking pretty good in here. But before we plant everything, we've got a boo-boo up here. So in my design of this bed and putting it in, I thought, well, it'd be good to have all these tomato plants up in here, really high, blocking out the sun in here, keeping my cabbage, my kohlrabi, my carrots and beets all cool. And that would help, right? And it would help. As soon as they got up 4 or 5, 6 foot tall, they block out a lot of the sun, shading this stuff in the evening, keeping it out of that hot evening sun. But we got a problem, and that problem's right here. So the bags right here was going to be a walkway and stuff. I guess I can still garden in this spot where this is at. Okay, I can still garden there, but if I put this here and leave it, we're going to have a major problem. And the major problem is because that water line, it goes down this path right here, and it hugs the side of this raised bed, and then it cuts under the raised bed and goes down along the side of the house. All right, so for 4 foot, we wouldn't be able to touch that water line, and that's probably not a good idea to have a huge 8 foot long, 4 foot wide raised bed covering your water line for 4 foot. So we're going to move this out. We're still going to put the walkway down. We're still going to use these bags for the walkway, put mulch down and all that good stuff, make it nice and pretty. We're still gardening this spot. I don't know what we'll grow here now. Probably some kind of corn, maybe some kind of pink or a glass gem corn or something like that, just to keep it high, keep the sun off of that stuff in the late summer. But let's go over here and take a look at what we're going to have to do to make this work, because we've got this spot right here. So this area right here, you know, we let beans grow. You guys can see the beans. We let morning glories grow. We let the weeds grow outside the fence, all just to block it up and give some shade or some fencing to the yard, because we got nosy neighbors and they like to snoop, and my wife likes to tan, and I can't help it, but I don't want nosy people looking at my wife tanning. Sorry, just don't like it, because these old guys will stop to almost a complete halt in front of my yard while my wife's tanning, and I don't necessarily like that. And their wife probably wouldn't like it either if I went and told them. But nonetheless, she said, why don't we put the raised beds over here? We've got 2 of them. We got that one that needs moved. We got another one coming today. She said, why don't we put them over there along the fence? It's 8 foot between each pole. Okay, they're like 3 foot high. And then whenever you know, it's all said and done, okay, the rest of the plants that you put in there will probably go on ahead and extend their way up to cover that whole fence there, or at least this part of the fence anyhow, and just give more protection and stuff, less room for the gawkers to gawk and take a look at her. And I said, hey, that's a good point. Let's do it. So we're going to move the one raised bed, and we're going to put it over here and have the other raised bed put and assembled here today. Here's the other thing. It's kind of on a slant, all right? So it's downhill. So I'm going to have to come in here with the tractor. I'm going to have to till this up, all right, and then level it out with the blade. So we got to till it up, level it, till it up, level it, you know. So we got some work to do. So let's go get the tractor running, and let's get everything set up. Let's get this leveled out, and let's get this thing put together. Okay, buddy, doing good. All right, y'all, we got this one in. Now we're gonna have to put this one together and get it set up, and then we'll start moving our pile of cardboard and all kinds of other stuff over here into this one and the other one, and get them full and ready to go. So let's get to it. All right, everybody, so we're layering our raised beds. We're putting layers in. Cardboard first, then green material on top of that cardboard, and then cardboard, then green material, cardboard, green material, all the way up to the top. That's how we're doing this. So you put layers in if you're going to use cardboard and stuff like that, and that will help make sure that the cardboard breaks down. It will also help make sure that the greens break down. So guys, you want to make sure you're layering your stuff. All right, put cardboard down, then the green. Also, remove any tape, any kind of tape from the cardboard. Make sure all tape is gone, unless it's paper tape. Paper tape can break down. All right, Smart Pots uses that, so you can use that. You can let that kind of tape stay, but any kind of other tape must be off of the cardboard before you put it in your raised beds. I mean, you can put it in there if you want, but I don't recommend it. So make sure you peel all the tape off of your cardboard. You want more brown material than you do green material, and that will help it break down. I can't remember the ratio, but I just know how I do it, and it works just fine. So on to the next. Here, we're going to plant peppers between the tomato plants. So peppers, tomato plants, peppers, tomato plants.
Out on the homestead wide, kids run free, nowhere to hide. Chasing butterflies, frogs in the creek, laughter echoes, voices unique. Teaching moments, nature's guide, life's a ride, enjoy the stride. Sunsets low, painting skies, building tree forts, reaching high. Feathers, fur, and friendly eyes. Every day's a new surprise. From the barn to the meadow wide, life's adventure is our guide. Fireflies spark, light the night. Under stars, the world's just right. Learning footprints, tracks in the soil. Hands get dirty, hearts uncoil.
Here comes the rain. It's coming from this way. Anytime it comes from that way, it's always a doozy. So we're gonna see what we're gonna get and then finish planting. So let's do it. All right, guys, we got them in. They're planted and looking good. And in a couple weeks, these things will be putting on some awesome, awesome, awesome tomatoes, peppers, all kinds of stuff. It's late, but that's all right. We had lots of extra plants left this year, so we loaded them up in these beds right here. And if they're anything like the other beds, these things are going to come to life in about a week or two, and they'll be starting to produce. And by end of July, beginning of August, we'll have tons of stuff getting produced out of these two raised beds. Most of this stuff, though, in these beds right here are giants. So all these tomatoes are giants. The peppers can be ate. All the eggplants in this bed over here are giants. And again, the peppers can be ate. So we'll eat the peppers and we'll grow the tomatoes and the eggplants for giant records. So let me show you guys these other beds so you guys can check them out. So we have this bed right here with lots of giant tomatoes in it. Lots of different ones are in here. We got huge mega blooms on these things. Look at these guys. Look at the mega blooms. These mega blooms are some of the biggest mega blooms I've ever had out of these raised beds. I always grow them in ground. My tomatoes are always grown in ground. Look at how healthy these plants are. Nothing wrong with these plants at all. No sickness, no disease, no nothing. Huge mega blooms all over. Look back in there. Look at how big that mega bloom is. Right through there. See what I'm saying? Look at the biggest, look how big that one is. Right there. I'm telling y'all guys, best way to grow are in raised beds when it comes especially to growing giant stuff. Hands down, the best way. If you guys are growing for crops, definitely need to grow in because the roots seem to stay cooler. There's a lot more activity down deep in that raised bed. That raised bed is 36 inches. Lots of good compost and stuff down there for these plants to grab and eat on. Plants are doing great. They're staying short, bushy. I like how they're growing. Everything's looking good. We've got some giant beets in here. Look at that giant beet right there growing. We got some giant eggplants right here growing. We got okra growing in here, right there, and one over here. Those are giant okra. Guys, I'm telling you, we got everything we need in these raised beds. Let me show you some more raised beds over here. Got to use all these bags to make a barrier right there, okay? And got our own little raised beds that we've built here, okay? Those raised beds we've built all on through here. They're looking pretty good. This one right here is our 4 seasons patch. We got a lot more stuff to put into this raised bed right here. We're going to clean this out the rest of the way, get some of this other stuff moved out. And tomorrow, this right here is going to be completely full of different stuff, peppers and eggplants and tomatoes and stuff like that. We'll be putting this raised bed right here, our cross 4 seasons patch raised bed. This thing is beautiful. Look at this area right here, guys. Is that not beautiful? It's absolutely gorgeous around here. It looks like an oasis of nothing but food growing, and I am in love with it, all right? Absolutely in love with it. These Birdies raised beds make a heck of a difference. Let me show you some more Birdies raised beds. Over here on this side of the house, we got a few more Birdie raised beds. You guys can see right here, we got our cabbages growing in here and our giant eggplant, or excuse me, our giant rutabaga. This giant rutabaga is growing so fast, guys. So fast, ain't even funny. Got all of our cabbages in here, though, and they're looking really good, doing really good. Got to get in here and do some work. Got some bugs trying to eat on them and stuff, so we'll have to get in here and work on them some, but everything's looking good and doing good. Got shade netting on them, all right? So trying to keep it cool and stuff in there, but everything's looking pretty good, and I'm happy with it. So we're just going to keep on going, guys. Keep it on, keep it on. So these are all of our Birdies raised beds. Highly encourage you guys to go check out the Birdies raised beds at Epic Gardening. You guys can check out our link below and save you a little bit of money and stuff. And yeah, so absolutely go get them. They're great for learning. They're great for the kids. The kids love to get in here and play with them. The kids can weed them. The kids can plant in them. They don't have to worry about stepping on anything like they would in my in-ground garden or all that stuff. So much better for kids to be using. So much user-friendly for kids. Highly encourage you guys to get them. Not just because they're easier to grow in for us as gardeners and seem to have a lot less problems with disease and stuff like that, but they're also a great learning tool for children to be able to get on and learn how to garden themselves. So highly encourage you guys to go over to Epic Gardening and get yourself some Birdies raised beds. I guarantee you'll like them. And guys, let me throw in this one last part here. I have grown in the Birdies raised beds that we've had. We've had this one right here, that one down there, this one, and the one up in the front yard, and one of them in the greenhouse. All right, and we have grown in those Birdies raised beds for a year now, and we've grown over $3,000 worth of food in those Birdies raised beds. Okay, guys? So they do pay for themselves. All right, guys, we're going to get out of here. We'll see you next time right here in the Hollers and Hills of West Virginia. See y'all.
Don't forget to smash that like button, that notification bell. Don't get the
Good job. Here you go. Thank you. Don't forget to share. Yep. There you go. Good job. And subscribe.